Hello everyone, I am Jaideep Singh Chahal. So today I think it's a very special day and project for us. So finally the 4x4 caravan, campervan, motorhome, RV, several names, whatever you might call it. I can say it is finally complete. I've already shared a few videos for the same, a few steps while we were doing the interior for this for this vehicle. Uh, so giving you a little brief, we picked this around 2.5, almost 3 years back. Uh, Ground up, we did all mechanical work, built up the rear cabin, extended it, designed it according to our requirement. That took a good year and a half, 2 years. And during that time, we were doing what you can call a mechanical testing for the vehicle as well. And once we were satisfied with that, we did a trip in the mountains, another long drive in and around Rajasthan. Then we finally came back and decided that now is the time to begin with the interior work. So the interior is going to be in two parts. This is the front driver's cabin, I can say, and then the rear living area. So in the driver's area, you can see, I'll start very, what you can see very obviously, with the seats we've changed. These are from the Safari Storm. Uh, Probably one of the only options which had an armrest, and we needed very thin seats with a very thin backrest because the cabin does not have a lot of space, and the partition acts as an obstruction otherwise. So we were not able to recline the seats if we took something from an Innova or something. So these fit the bill pretty well. Uh, Almost everything that you see has been worked on or changed or upgraded. So the door cards or the door panels, as you can see, these are from Force Motors. These match the modern day Tempo Traveler, but we had to cut them because the XL2 or this T1 comes with the raised door type. Uh, this dashboard is from the early 90s Mercedes T1, same in the Tempo Traveler. People from abroad who are looking at this video, they'll be able to relate that this looks exactly like the one in the international market. Uh, a lot of mix and match of parts from here and there. These vents are from a Ford Figo. Uh, we needed something around 3.5 quarter to 4 inches, so these fit very well. Uh, this paneling was done just to reinforce the dashboard. This is like a cubby hole. Other than that, this lamp is still there. I think it's stuck, but it used to work. Okay, not working anymore. That lamp used to work. That's a small map reading lamp provided by the army. It's an army fitment. I'm surprised it's not working. It was working when I last checked. We've got another flexible map reading light. So this we always wanted. I remember Hella used to make a very nice halogen map reading lamp. So we always used to fantasize about having that in one of the vehicles. So that is there. This is not from Hella. This is some other brand, but LED of course was an upgrade. So this console right here, we'll start with the gray part that you can see. So the gray bit is all done in 12 mm marine plywood, and it's been painted by our uh, the guy who's polished, Virender, who's polished the entire vehicle for us. All the woodwork, you'll see a lot of woodwork in the back. So as per our own design, and this looks like one of those ARB Outback top boxes that houses your audio and houses your CB and UHF radio sets. So we've got the Bill radio set. This is from President India. This is the latest and the best one that they have. It's connected to the antenna outside. I've already shown that antenna. This is the older radio. We've kept it as a backup. This is the Tommy range of radios. So it's got its own magnetic antenna. Uh, so right here in the middle, we've got the AC controls. These AC controls are F is for the front and R is for the rear. So the AC is driven from a carrier unit. It's an engine mounted compressor, very capable. We've got a Y split, and front and rear is split into like an 80-20 ratio. Um, so 80 goes in the back, sorry, 20 comes in the front. So we can control the front and rear blowers independently, and that is there. We've got a heater setup as well. We've got a basic phone mount for now. Still thinking of where to put a RAM mount, a nice fitment for a GoPro as well. And we've got a Marine Ritchie brand uh, this thing, a compass. This is almost the same as the one we have in the Gypsy as well, and a 10-inch Android set. This I really like because for the price, these are amazing. We're getting a dongle that will take up, give us internet all the time. We have maps. We've got an access to a reverse camera. So we've got the reverse camera on a switch. So as you can see, the reverse camera is on and off from a switch. So we can have a live feed of the reverse always. And it's 10 inches and very close to the driver's face. So it's like you're watching it on a TV, like a CCTV feel. So that is there. And we've got a big panel of switches. There's a lot of auxiliary lamps and lights. It's like a rocker panel, 6 switches here, and a few we bought genuine Force Motors switches, and we fitted those. Some for the fog lamps. This one has a ton of lights outside, so that is there. Uh, the sunglass holder is there. This is from a Hyundai Verna. I think this is from the pre-fluidic model, I think. So that is there. We've got lights. I have misplaced those lens somewhere. Still have to find them. And we've got a boat console. This is generally sold in Amazon USA for boats and stuff, RVs as well. So this houses one Android player, two 6.5-inch speakers, and the other two go on the sides. So four 6.5-inch speakers driven by the Android player itself. So that's more than enough audio output, because the speakers are right next to your face. And we've got one, I believe, yeah, that's one and two small storages. It's pretty deep, will take a lot of space. And in the back, we've done a basic leatherish paneling, but the entire cabin has been nicely covered in a layer of damping. The floor as well is there's full damping on the floor, and then we've got these thick mats and carpets on the floor. This is the engine cover. The engine, since this is not a tilt cab, so the engine is accessible from inside. The engine cover lies underneath this one. So all of this has really helped, reduce the engine noise. So it feels very quiet and very homely-ish feel. And this white panel right here is, we've used it to cover all the plumbing and ducting for the AC routing. So that is there. We've got another small storage under the passenger seat. And other than that, yes, there's a few very interesting bits in this vehicle. This is your normal 5+1 gear shifter that is there. This interesting and funny looking thing, it looks like a shower mixer tap thing, is actually something that is very unique, and most of you might not have seen it on a vehicle. So this, what happens is, this part opens up. You can see it goes out, and this cylinder, I'll see if I can open it right now. So this is something that a lot of you might not have seen. So right there, you see the pointed bit, it looks like an arrow. So this this open space right here, wait, I think it's inside. If I can get it out for you, it'll be very interesting. Oh, perfect. So this, if you can see, the labeling might not be clear. So this right here, what looks like a used 12 gauge shell, is actually supplied to the army. This is filled with something we called as a cold starter fluid. So the cold starter fluid is filled in a sealed aluminium container, and this pointed bit that you see, so what happens is, your sealed bit goes in there like that. Yeah, that goes in there. This goes on top and locks, and then you push it in to pierce. So once you've pierced, this thing right here acts as a pump. So you pump it 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and the fluid gets pumped from here through a very thin brass pipe, and it goes into your intake manifold. So no matter how cold it is, no matter what all sort of starting trouble you might have in negative temperatures, this vehicle will start, because that is what a cold starter fluid does. So that is very, very unique. I've been trying to find those capsule things. It's like a coffee shot capsule. If anyone has or knows the source for these, please do let me know. Otherwise, we'll have to make do with packing our own little cold start fluid sprays in a packet and using them in there. If you can, please link me to someone who's got these cold start pellets. Please do let me know. This is the regular 5+1 gear shifter. This is the 4x4 high and low. This engages the high and low. This little thing is something very unique, the one that says D. This is by the brand called ZF. This is the hydraulic differential locker. Yes, this vehicle, for those who know, this vehicle comes with a set of rear differential lockers, hydraulically operated. That is where the def locker fluid goes. That makes it very, very capable. And I think that is very important for the size as well. So that is, you just lift and it engages the rear diff locks, and then the fun begins. So on the top we've got like thin layer of foam and same cloth as we have in the back. So other than that, the interesting bit, we've got an external roll cage, and if you can see from here, it's got a funny looking mirror in the front. That's a convex mirror, and you might have seen that on trucks. So this has been taken from one of the Tata Ultra trucks, I believe. So made a mount for that, and the entire front is very, very properly visible. It is like right there on a screen. So very, very convenient. uh, I think that's about it for the front. uh, I'll quickly run around towards the back, and I'll show you the other interesting stuff that is there in the back. I'll, I'll, I'll have to get out and into the backside. Just a second. Okay, so this is the this is the main home entry. So this is the home entry side. You have to watch how this step unfolds. So the panel inside opens and settles on top. So there you go. This is convenient because it's a 4x4 vehicle. We wanted a higher ground clearance, so the center is pretty high. So stepping up directly into the cabin gets a little tricky. So the step opens out. You can very easily step in, and that's it. So inside this right here, right where you enter, this is the main control house. This is you can say the battery manager. So you've got two big 150 amp hour batteries, the ones we have in our houses normally with inverters. So those are getting charged from a very high capacity alternator. So this vehicle has two alternators. So those batteries are getting charged from that alternator, and two solar panels up top. So we've got two solar panels close to 550, 600 watts. We've got the 30-degree tilt feature as well. And so when you turn it on, we've got switches inside. If you can just show, uh, we've got an L&T touch panel. So all sorts of lights, we can control them from here itself. We've got a very basic clock that shows the humidity and other stuff. And can you just, we've got the switch for the pump. If you can just turn on the pump switch down there. So we've got a switch for the pump, and so we've got a DC pump by this brand called Fieldmaster. We've got a DC pump in the back, and okay. So inside, we'll start from one side. Before you come inside, I'll show you. This is what changes everything. This is the washroom. We've got a standard size 32 by 32 inches. It's almost 3 by 3 feet washroom. We've tried to make it look as much as like a washroom at home. So we've got tiles in the bottom. The entire bottom has been sealed. That's the drain right there. This is our shower. We've got a handheld shower with a curtain rod. Will make you feel at home. And also we've got a chemical toilet. This has an inbuilt uh, fresh water and a grey water tank. So the toilet mainly is for kids and the ladies, and only meant to be used when really really required. Otherwise, we're more than happy, you know. So we're pretty used to camping now. So that is there. We got a full sized bathroom inside. I'll just turn on some lights. So inside, if you see, uh, this area right here is the access. This is the crawl through. This takes us towards the front, and we've got a very small door. So that'll close and stick there. That gives you access, and you can close that. It also acts like a thermal barrier. It'll stay closed at night. During the day, so that the driver doesn't feel like he's driving a truck, so the communication can stay. So this is there. uh, this is our book rack, magazine shelf, book rack, you can, several names, you can call it whatever. So the idea of having this is we did not want to have a TV in the vehicle. The whole idea of traveling is to see new stuff. So we are trying to make the kids also understand the importance of reading books. So we will be having books and books only. There'll be no TV screen in the camper. So we've got that, and we've got two uh, closets. That's a vertical storage. We've got two storage areas, and we've got those very uh, clever little lights that light up when you open the thing. And we've got a shoe rack type storage in the bottom. That's a big drawer. So that is also there. I'll close it. And this is the fridge. So we've got a 110-liter top loading, top access deep freezer or a deep fridge. So these new ones can be used as both a fridge and as a freezer as well. Uh, Very efficient. And the best part is it comes with a flat top. In a camper, once you make a camper, you realize that flat areas are a blessing. You can use them as a countertop whenever, wherever. So this will double as a countertop as well. Very easy to access, very deep, loads of space, and a good spot to put your stickers and fridge magnets as well. So very very convenient to use. Coming to this side, coming to this side, we've got the storage areas. So yeah, this one is okay. So these are very clever little lights that will light up whatever closet or whatever panel you open. So they are operated by a switch fitted right here. So very clever little lights. And we've got, these are pretty deep. These are like 16 inches deep. I think this one's out of batteries, so it's running very dim. So 1, 2, and 3, these are completely for miscellaneous storage, and you can pack in whatever you feel like. Now this is the uh, this is, you can call, this is the coffee table of the house, or this is the dining table of the house. So we've got facing seating, and I'll just open the window real quick for a little ventilation. So we've got DGU UPVC windows, and we've got shears, we've got full curtains. The whole idea is to make it look more like home. And in case you want to sleep without the AC, you're in a place where you want ventilation, so you can turn on those fans. I'll show you the fans as well. And we've got a very clever little mosquito net, like a sliding mosquito net. So I really like that bit. And this is the fresh air fan. We'll get to that later. This is the dining table slash coffee table, facing seating. Both the seats, uh, they've got storage spaces underneath. The whole idea of doing a camper is to utilize the space as much as possible. So we've made use of that. There's a storage space underneath. This tabletop is removable. It's a two-person job. You pull it out, the pipes come off, falls down, and it converts into a bed. So I've left that open for you to see. Once this falls down, we place a little mattress on top, and this area from there, extending your legs inward, becomes a full 7 foot long bed, and that is very comfortable for one person. So that is there. So your legs extend into that area. There's ample amount of space. And the floor, again, yeah, we forgot the floor. So the floor is a very, uh, it's an idea that came into our mind. So we've got a very nice textured mica placed on a single plank of 4 mm waterproof ply. So there's no joint. It looks like a wooden flooring, but I didn't want the joints. So we've done a full wooden flooring with no joints at all. And since it's a small vehicle, the entire thing fitted on one plank or one sheet itself. So this is our storage area for the kitchen. These two are the kitchen storages, and this is the electrical housing. The all the MCBs are there. We'll label them out nicely. We'll use this area to label what all MCBs are for. They'll be numbered and labeled here. This is like a little storage area, and there's a ventilation fan underneath. This will be acting as the chimney and also for the fresh air ventilation. So this is one you saw in the washroom. This is fan number 2. We'll get to fan number 3 as well. This is another big storage area. So that's it. And since we spoke about countertop areas, this is a fold out countertop. So once the door is locked and you're in the vehicle, you get a bigger area as well. This right here, the cut that you see, this is a sink cover. This comes off, and you've got your water supply. Yeah, I think we're out of water, but yeah, that is your water supply. And after that, it locks back into a trick, nice little countertop again. We've got a small drawer for keeping the butane cook range. We are not using an LPG uh, cooktop here, because when you travel in very low temperatures, the heat factor of LPG is very poor. Plus, carrying the cylinders and all nowadays, crossing any tunnels, there's a lot of inspection, lot of checking, and they'll always bother you if you're carrying LPG cylinders. So just to avoid that, we'll be using the deodorant sized butane bottles, and butane works beautifully in low temperatures. So we've got one drawer for cutlery, one for the butane cooking range. This is again a storage drawer. This right here houses the this thing. This houses the transformer and the power manager. And we've got these very nice switches. We've got a power plug as well. So one thing I forgot to mention, the entire rear cabin is running on AC power, just like at home. All the appliances that work at home will work perfectly fine here as well. So we've got a setup that will support up to 1100 watts. So your kettle and all are good to go. They won't be any trouble. And you can see it's live and there's power. And we've got these universal sockets and these really cool looking direct fast charging USB 2 ports. Same with the seatings as well. We've got these USB ports in there as well. Now coming to the other storages, I'll quickly show you. This is the big utensil storage area, and this is where we plan on keeping 3 crates. This has been designed to take 3 crates separately. There's stoppers everywhere, and these 3 crates will be having all sorts of stuff, because bringing in stuff and packing it inside is actually difficult. So if you once you're packing for a trip, you pack the crate and you just throw it in here. So that becomes very convenient. And this right here is the slide out kitchen pantry. So that's 6 inches wide. We'll be buying these nice sealed bottles or jars that are 6 inch wide, and we'll fit them inside. So that is there. So everything in this vehicle has been designed or planned in a way, like the storage. Everything you might have noticed, there's no shockers like we see at home in the kitchens as well. These modular kitchens, you just pull it and it pops open. So that is not here, because in a camper everything is prone to opening on its own. So what we've tried to do is, everything that we've placed is going to try and close on its own. So this one, the magnet catcher, will try and keep all openable doors and panels closed, and when it opens, all you do is you leave it and it will close automatically. So all of these are focused at closing themselves rather than opening themselves. So that avoids a lot of material and stuff flying around in the vehicle in case of, when you're traveling on a bumpy road or you're braking hard. So that is there. So in the back, this is my favorite place. This little cover it's a nice little inlet fan. This will be the fresh air in. So in order to create a draft, we've got the fresh air in, we've got the spent air out, one, and two in the washroom, so that that circulation stays and you don't feel suffocated. This is a queen sized bed. Anyone up to 6 feet 2 inches can sleep comfortably. Two people, three people, depends on your size, of course. You can sleep here, and the curtains are there. That entire shelf, again extending to the corner, is again going to be the bookshelf, and that we'll be using that to keep all sorts of stuff that you need close to you in the bed or close to you on the bed. So the bed backrest is again done in the same light olive green cloth. So we did not go for any sort of leatherite or rexine that you might see in a lot of run of the mill campers that are done, because those never feel like home, they're never comfortable, and they don't breathe. So those campers, they'll start stinking after a while. This is an almost an 80% cotton cloth, and it's like a linen weave. So feels like home and feels more cozy. That is my personal opinion. Everyone has their own look and that into it. We've got these nice profile lights, very thin ones, and all the windows. This is the only openable window. Those two windows are fixed closed, and we've got 5 mm plus 12 mm plus 5 mm. That is almost 17 into 20 mm thick argon glass, also known as the DGU. So we've got that in all the windows, and that was the whole idea, that the vehicle should act as a cocoon, and it should be thermal. It has to have thermal stability. The weather outside should not be able to come in contact with you. The entire this thing, if you see, there are no exposed screws. Any exposed screw, if it is there, it is not screwed into the metal body. As I had already mentioned, it is going into a wooden frame, and that wooden frame is then screwed into the metal body. So there's no thermal bridge. So people who've traveled in negative temperatures, they would know that by the time you wake up in the morning with all the vapor from your breathing, you'll find ice or snow deposited on every metal bit, and especially on your windows. That won't be happening here. That is one thing we took extra care of. And other than that, I think I have covered almost everything. Very sure I've forgotten a few things as well. Please do share your feedback and questions if there are any. Uh, Also, there's a few things that are in progress. We are still in the process of servicing our bunk heater. I had mentioned we'll be using a Webasto Airtop 2000. That's a bunk heater. It's a diesel fired small engine that heats up your cabin. So we are in the process of servicing that. The diesel inlet and all has already been attached to the fuel tank. So we'll be placing that below the fridge, and we'll be using a common ventilation for both. That and maybe a fan or two for circulating air. And as we start using and keep using the camper wheel, I'm very sure we'll be learning more stuff that is required. As of now, this is it, and we can finally declare the camper as complete and ready for a trip. And very soon, I think we will be planning a trip, and I'll update you. And I'm looking forward to using it on a trip, and maybe doing a video there at the trip showing how it is being put to use. So I think we'll conclude with that. If you have any questions, queries, or any suggestions, please do let me know. Thank you so much.